hand built.
No rusty piece of shit. Got every intention of making it sick.
Alright, today we're going to work on the 240Z here. But first, I've got to do a quick fix on my G60 Patrol because my clutch slave cylinder rod, she came adrift. She broke into two when I was pulling it out the shed, and I have to have it moving so I can get it back in the shed, so I have to fix it. I tried to get a high tensile bolt with the thread the same, but they're all either too long or too short in this town, so I'm going to have to weld it back together until I can find another one. I'm sure I'll find one somewhere. First thing I'm going to do is grind it to a V so that it's got more to bite on. So rightio. So now it's in the V shape. Now I'm just going to fill that with excuse me, I'm going to fill that up with welding. So we're going to set it up in the bench vise. Until I get one that's actually in one piece. That will do. So crisis is averted on the G60. It's got clutch again now. Just hope it holds. It should do. But what we're going to do now is fix the rust along here first. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pattern from my S30 because mine has no rust up there and it's easier to get the shape right. So that's what we're going to do now. So I've got to get some paper and a pencil or texto or whatever, and we're going to make up some patterns. It's fairly rusty the whole way along, so I'm probably going to have to do almost the whole lot. Also, it's got a sunroof in it, and I've got to weld this piece of tin in. As you can see, like that, it's just tech screwed in at the moment, so I've got to cut that out to a bit better shape so I can weld it in. Okay, so I've got the basic pattern traced out. As long as you got this line here right, the rest I can adjust later. So I'm going to cut it out and then transfer it onto a piece of tin, and then we'll start shaping. Okay, I've got it traced onto the tin. What I've done is I've, along this line, I've scratched it with my scribe, which is an old screwdriver I broke. And then afterwards, where I've scratched it, I've just marked through with the texter, so it shows up more on the actual piece of tin. So I'm going to cut that out, and then it's shape time. It's only, the lines are only rough, doesn't need to be perfect because I'm going to trim it up after I've made it. So I'm just doing a light chisel along the fold lines to make it easier to fold, basically. That's what you do it for. So you just mild tap, nothing too drastic. You don't want to cut the metal. You just follow that line the whole way along, and then you should be able to feel it on the other side where it is already starting to fold. Obviously you do it on the opposite side, so you want it to fold that way, so you do it on this side so it folds over. Okay. Now this is the sort of thing that you would do with a bead roller. And you would get it done in like not even half the time. Bead roller is next on my list of things to buy. Better tools you got, the less time you take to do your job. It's better for everyone. Okay, you must process every little thing you do when you're shaping metal because one thing's going to affect the next. Now, folding this over, now it's starting to get a bit of a boomerang shape that way when it's supposed to be the opposite way. Now that tells me it's got to be shrunk along this edge here, and that'll bring it back down again. So I'm going to give it a shrink, and we'll see if that rectifies the situation. But after that's been folded over and it's been shrunk, then I've got to pull this edge up. And once I pull that up, it's going to have to be stretched again. So it's a two-part process just to do that. So I'm going to shrink it now. Lots and lots of pumping with the shrinker here. Finally got it so it's not like a boomerang. So now it's time to start folding the this lip up, which means I'm going to have to stretch it. So out with the shrinking jaws, into the stretching jaws. This is why I want to make another one of these so I don't have to swap around jaws. Well, there you have it. Bit of persuasion and patience. Got the shape to conform to where it needs to be. So next thing, just got to cut out along that edge there so I can weld it into the actual original roof panel. What I'll do is I'll tack weld it in while it's still on the car like this, and then I'll lift the whole lot off and I'll do one continuous TIG weld. Well, I'll have to stop every now and then because I'll probably need a bit of plenishing to keep it nice and flat. But yeah, that'll be it for today anyway. So I'll probably come back and do a bit more on Monday. I've got Saturday duties tomorrow, so yeah, I'll see you then.
Oh no, Rusty, piece of shit.